we will discuss about the adaptation process and different defense mechanism techniques that we use to counter different situations. What is this adaptation? Adaptation cons. Adaptation is a state of mind where we adjust our mental makeup to different external stimuli. So যদি example ହିସାବରେ ଆମେ ଯଦି କହିବାକୁ ଯିବା adaptation ଟା ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମର behavior ରେ occur ହୁଏ basically ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଆମର different psychological aspects କୁ different psychological aspects like our attitudes, our behavior, and our approach to some concepts, a entire ecosystem of mental factors को ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ control କରି situation ର जो requirement ଥାଏ situation ର जो demand ଥାଏ ସେ demand ଅନୁସାରେ ଆମେ ଆମର behavior କୁ appropriate କରି ସେ situation ସହିତ ଆମେ adjust କରୁ ଏ entire process କୁ ଆମେ adaptation ବୋଲି କହିବା. So adaptation basically it has four essential factors. A four essential factor रे basically ଆମେ adaptation जो मानकर better ही परिवो तो सेमानकर different psychosocial factors को respond करिवारो जो क्षमता अछि the capacity to respond to different psychosocial factors will also increase. So these are the four factor. One is frustration tolerance. Frustration tolerance. Then what is this and how this is essential for this adaptation process? If in any situation, if we are encountering with a problem, then we enter into the state of psychological conflict where we are unable to decide which step is appropriate for me in this particular context. You are not sure whether you will proceed towards direction A or you will proceed towards direction B. And that we call it as a state of conflict or state psychological state of conflict. So how this psychological conflict gets resolved and someone gets adapted to the situation, first of all, it depends on your frustration tolerance. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ କୌଣସି ବି adverse situation କୁ face କରୁ ନା ସେତେବେଳେ ଆମକୁ ଆମ ଭିତରେ frustration ଆସେ. For example, ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ କଲେଜ ପାଇଁ apply କରିଛେ. Now this is the time of admission. ଆମେ ଯୋଉ କଲେଜ କୁ expect କରିଛେ କି ଆମକୁ ଏ କଲେଜ ମିଳିବ ଆମକୁ for example ସେ କଲେଜ ମିଳିଲାନି. Now it brings some elements of frustration with us. ଯଦି ଆମେ ତା ବିଷୟରେ କନଷ୍ଟାଣ୍ଟଲି ଭାବିବା କି ମୁଁ ସେ କଲେଜରେ ପାଇଲିନି ଦେନ୍ ମୁଁ ସେ କଲେଜରେ ମତେ ଆଡମିସନ ମିଳିଲାନି ସୋ କଣ୍ଟିନ୍ୟୁସଲି ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ struggle and conflict state of mind को ଯିବା ଯୋଉଥିରେ constant ଆମେ କଣ ପାଇବା frustration ପାଇବା whenever we will think about that situation constantly we will feel rejected we will feel frustrated. तो adaptation केमती आसीबो सो आम मानक भितरे जेतेबेले से frustration को tolerate करिवा पाई capacity आसे then adaptation develop होबार this is the primary symbol. So if we have ability to control our emotion, if we have ability to control our different dejected moods, responsible for any kind of psychosocial factors, then in that case, we have frustration resistance skill. Adaptation by the first skill is very much essential, that is the frustration tolerance skill. Now, the second skill is the flexibility in behavior. Flexibility in behavior. What is this flexibility in behavior? Adaptation comes with when we are changing our behavior according to the need and requirement of the situation. Example, in this college, now you are students of PG first year. Now you have a class here in fifth floor, but earlier in graduation, all your classes were happening in the ground floor. Since now you are taking stair and coming to this place, now it is getting little tougher for you to take your classes on a daily basis. If you would stick to your point that you will not come to this floor to attend your class, and your classes must be arranged in the ground floor only, if that would have been your demand, then it would have very difficult for me to take your class. So in this situation ଆମେ basically ଏଠି ଆମେ କଣ କଲେ ନା generally ଆମେ +3 ସମୟରେ now we were attending all our classes in the ground floor. Now in PG first year we came here up to the fifth floor and we are attending our classes. So according to the demand, according to the requirement of the situation, we are changing our behavior. So that is called the flexibility part. ना जो सिचुएशन रे हमको जेमिति व्यवहार करिवा कथा से सिचुएशन रे हमें जदि सेमिति व्यवहार करि परिबा सिचुएशन रो डिमांड सहित देन सिचुएशन रो रिक्वायरमेंट सहित देन द एडाप्टेशन प्रोसेस हमको डेवलप होबार इजीली हमें अडाप्ट करि परिबा सिचुएशन सहित. This is the second factor. Third factor is realistic self awareness. Realistic self-awareness. What is this realistic self-awareness? Now, when we are uh, understanding our emotions, our strength, our weakness, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଆମ ବିଷୟରେ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଅର୍ଜନ କରୁ ନା ଆମର ଦୁର୍ବଳତା କୋଉଠି ଅଛି, ଆମର ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଙ୍ଗଥ କୋଉଠି ଅଛି, ବେସିକାଲି ଯେତେବେଳେ ଏଇ ପଏଣ୍ଟ ଗୁଡାକୁ ଆମେ କ୍ଲିୟରଲି ଆମକୁ ଜଣା ପଡେ ବେସିକାଲି ନା କୋଉ ସିଚୁଏସନ ରେ ଆମକୁ କେମିତି ରିଆକ୍ଟ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, ମୋର କୋଉଠି କୋଉ ପଏଣ୍ଟରେ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଙ୍ଗଥ ଅଛି, ଦେନ୍ କୋଉ ଜାଗାକୁ ଗଲେ ମତେ ମୋର ସେଇ ଷ୍ଟ୍ରେଙ୍ଗଥ କୁ ୟୁଜ କରିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, where I have little loopholes, my skills are not up to date, I am struggling in those areas. So ମତେ କୋଉ କୋଉ ଜିନିଷକୁ ଟିକେ ଦୂରକୁ ଦେଖିବାକୁ ପଡିବ, I need not involve myself so deeply into that area. So that is possible when you know yourself, when you know your skills, your competencies well. And that is one of the accountable factors for developing the adaptation to different situations. In all psychological dilemma, in all psychological conflict state of mind, when you are entering into that state, this realistic self-awareness, like what extent you know yourself, that plays a very much important role developing your adaptation skills to that context. So the third point is realistic self-awareness. And the fourth point is the most important point, balanced aspiration. Balanced aspiration. What is this balanced aspiration? Balanced aspiration ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଲ ସେଟ୍ କରୁଛେ ଫ୍ୟୁଚରରେ ଆମେ କଣ ବନିବାକୁ ଚାହୁଁଛେ, ଆମେ କୋଉ ଡାଇରେକ୍ସନ କୁ ଚୁଜ କରିବା, କୋଉ ଡାଇରେକ୍ସନ ରେ ଯିବା, ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ଫିକ୍ସ କରୁଛେ, that we are setting our aspiration. So what happens in that aspiration should be as per our skill competencies. ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଗୋଲ କୁ ସେଟ୍ କରୁଛେ ବା ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଏମିତି ଗୋଟେ ଆସ୍ପିରେସନ କୁ ସେଟ୍ କରୁଛେ ଯୋଉ ଆସ୍ପିରେସନ କି ଆମର ସ୍କିଲ ରୁ ବାହାରେ ଆମର ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଏକ୍ଜିଷ୍ଟିଂ ସ୍କିଲ ନାହିଁ ବା ଆମର ଏକ୍ଜିଷ୍ଟିଂ କମ୍ପିଟେନ୍ସିସ୍ ନାହିଁ ସେ ଆସ୍ପିରେସନ କୁ ମିଟ୍ କରିବା ପାଇଁ ତ now it is difficult to get that aspirations truly realized by ourselves. In that case, balanced aspiration develops quick adaptation to a situation. Example, if I am going to my university, this is my first day, and I am attending a graduation program there. So, if I will set my aspirations moderately well according to my skill and competencies, then the anxiety level will be very less for me. Example, so throughout the career, I have been an average student. I am getting 65 to 70 percentage. As 0 percentage, there are little different because the evaluations techniques have been completely changed. If you are sure, if you know yourself that throughout your career, tomorrow 70% career runs, and now you are moving from your native place to a city out there, and all of a sudden you are setting a target of 95%. This is a way beyond aspirations, and historically, that aspiration is not aligning with your skill and competencies. And that is good that you are setting aspirations, but these aspirations will create anxiety for you, and it may create problem for your adaptation in that particular context. So, what I mean to say balanced aspiration means according to your skill, according to your competencies, you should set your goal, you should set your aspirations so that you can easily and quite smoothly can develop the adaptation skills to different contexts and different environment. So these are the primary factors who is operating behind our adaptation skills to various social conditions in the society, be it your academic institutions, be it in your family, be it in your relatives, or be it in any social gathering. Now, what happens if adaptation is broken? This led us to a state of conflict where we unable to decide what to do. That is the state of conflict. And once we take decisions based on our experience, based on some data, based on the suggestion and the guidance of other, and finally, if we are reaching to a decision, that is called state of equilibrium in this context. So we are able to decide something. So this conflict, what is this conflict? Now, when we are unable to decide which route you have to take. Now I have presented two stimuli in front of you. One is example ଆମକୁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କୁ ମିଠା ଖାଇବାକୁ ଭଲ ଲାଗେ, and in one side there is 1 kilo of ମୁଁ ଛେନାପୋଡ ରଖିଲି. It's a very pure ଛେନାରେ ବନିଛି ଛେନାପୋଡ, and second ପଟେ ମୁଁ ରଖିଲି ନା ଗୋଲାପ ଜାମୁନ. Both of the sweets is appealing to you, right? But out of these two dishes, you have to choose one. Only you can choose one. So in that case, now for some time, you are in two minds whether you will go for chenapoda or gulab jamun. So this is a very light case of your state of conflict. तो ଯଦି ଆମେ conflict କୁ ଦେଖିବା entirely, conflict ତିନି ଭାଗରେ ଆମେ ତାକୁ ବିଭକ୍ତ କରିବା conflict କୁ. then ତାର nature କୁ ନେଇକିରି basically ସେ କଣ ହେଇପାରିବ? Uh, the first is double plus ତାକୁ approach କୁହାଯାଏ, double plus approach conflict କୁହାଯାଏ, and this is called avoidance, sorry, acceptance approach conflict, or we can say approach conflict. Plus plus means approach conflict. So the example I shared recently, जो गोलाप जामुन रो and छेनापोड़ा रो मु example तम ମାନଙ୍କ सहित share कली, what kind of conflict this is? This is an approach conflict. Why this is an approach conflict? Because there are two stimuli, there are two drives that I presented, there are two stimulus that I presented, and in both of the stimulus is meaningful and appealing to you. ତମେ ମାନେ ଦୁଇଟା ଏକ ଜିନିଷକୁ attain କରିବା ପାଇଁ ଚାହୁଁଛ at a time, but there is a limitations, there is a capping, only you can choose one. So it landed you a state of conflict, ନା ତମେ whether ଛେନାପୋଡ ସହିତ ଯିବ ନା ଗୁଲାବ ଜାମ ସହିତ ଯିବ. So lot of things happens in our life. ଆମେ for example life रे बहुत सारा कॉलेज को एंड यूनिवर्सिटी को आमे अप्लाई करूचे, एंड आमे बहुत सारा जॉब भी अप्लाई करूचे. एग्जांपल हमर ओएस एपट ही जाईची, देन असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर पाई मध्ये हमर सिलेक्शन ही जाईची, and both the selection happened at a same time. Then you have to choose either the assistant professor or the OS. Then both of the options is lucrative to you. You want to be an OS officer, and at the same time you want to be an assistant professor as well. So both of the options is appealing to you. You want to retain both of the options with you. So in that case, now you are double-minded. क्या करना चाहिए? Whether I should go for this or that. That is double plus or approach conflict. So the second type of conflict is minus, also called avoidance and avoidance conflict. Avoidance conflict. What is this avoidance conflict? If you want to choose two completely undesirable stimulus, ମୁଁ ତମକୁ ଏମିତି ଦିଟା ସିଚୁଏସନ ଦେବି ଯୋଉ ଦିଟା ସିଚୁଏସନ କୁ ତମେ କଣ କରିବ? ଆଭଏଡ କରିବାକୁ ଟ୍ରାଏ କରିବ. ଅପସନ 1, ମୁଁ ଗୋଟେ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ଦଉଛି to make it more easier. What is this avoidance conflict? Now you have your attendance is relatively low. The first thing is you cannot appear the internal examination. Option number 1. Option number 2, if you will appear the internal examination, then 25 marks will be deducted from your semester. Once you cannot appear internal, you are not eligible for semester. In both of the situations, there is some minus points, right? So in both of the cases, you want to avoid this kind of situation. In our life, there are lot of such information, lot of those instances where we want to avoid both of the situations. All right. Then the third state of conflict is your plus minus. And what is this? Approach avoidance. Approach avoidance. Approach avoidance means here in these two cases, there are two situations are presented before you. But in the third instance, approach avoidance, there is only one situation. In one situation, some elements is in favor of your conditions and some elements not in favor of your requirement, right? Example, ଭାଇ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଆମେ ଆମର ବାହାଘର ହଉଛି ବା ଆମେ କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ ଅବଜେକ୍ଟ କୁ ହଉ ବା କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ ଇଭେଣ୍ଟ କୁ ହଉ ବା କୌଣସି ଗୋଟେ ଆମେ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ କୁ ଗେନ୍ କରୁଛେ ମୁଁ ମ୍ୟାରେଜ ର ହିଁ ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ ନେବି ଯଦି ଆମେ ମ୍ୟାରେଜ କରୁଛେ ମ୍ୟାରେଜ କଲେ ଗୋଟେ ଝିଅ ପାଇଁ କଣ କଣ ଦରକାର definitely a very handsome guy, tall, having a good job, reputation, family background, all those matters, right? And fortunately, you got that, right? ତମକୁ ଗୋଟେ ଭଲ ପୁଅ ମିଳିଲା, he is getting handsome salary, then good reputed family, and the financial background of the boy is also very good. At the same time, you also came to know that since he is very progressive, he has many friends also, including boys and girls. And also, he brings lot of his friends to your home. So always he will keep you busy, you know. And he is little angry as well. He is little agitated as well. So these are the qualities that you want to avoid. But these qualities are there. So now this package, the boy has a list of qualities, and from that bucket of qualities, you like some of them, and some of the qualities are not in favor of your requirement or in the way that you expect or aspire. In this case, some of the things that you want to approach and some of the things that you want to avoid. So, this is the case of the classic example of approach avoidance conflict, right? So approach avoidance conflicts is a this is the attached elements in a single situation. ଗୋଟେ situation ଭିତରେ ଯଦି both of the elements ଯଦି present ଥାଏ ତାକୁ ଆମେ approach avoidance conflict ବୋଲି କହିବା. Now ଯେତେବେଳେ if we are landing on a state of conflict ଆମେ ଆକୁ resolve କେମିତି କରୁଛୁ? What are the different resolve techniques? ଆମେ ତାର resolve technique କଣ ୟୁଜ କରୁଛେ ସେଇଟାକୁ ଆମେ ଟିକେ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଡିସ୍କସ କରିବା. डिफेन्स मेकानिज्म रे बेसिकली डिफेन्स मेकानिज्म टा कौन ना हमरो इक्विलिब्रियम स्टेट ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम को कांस्टेंट रखिया पाई स्टेट ऑफ इक्विलिब्रियम को मैनेज करिवा पाई आमे हमरो बिहेवियरल लेवल रे सम चेंजेस आउचे so that our state of mind कौन रोची stable रोची and constant रोची and that is called what a defense mechanism. Okay, now we are defending ourselves against all the odds. We are defending ourselves from the extreme anxiety anxiety situation, the extreme volatile psychological situation, and we remain stable in those सिचुएशन जदि ताकू आमे तीन भाग रे विभक्त करिवा बेसिकली डिफेंस मेकानिज्म को डिस्टॉर्टिंग रियलिटी व्हाट इज दिस डिस्टॉर्टिंग रियलिटी आमे हमरो हमकु सिचुएशन को एडजस्ट करिवा पई आमे किसी जिंस को बैड एक्सपीरियंस को भूलिबा पई एंड अनडिजायरेबल एक्सपीरियंस को भूलिबा पई आमे किछिटा टेक्निक यूज करछे किछिटा अप्रोच यूज करूछे एंड सेई अप्रोच समटाइम्स ना हमकु रियलिटी टू कोन नहीं जाए बहुत दूर को नहीं जाए रियलिटी गोटे थाए बट आमे एमिति प्रिटेंड करू कि आमे एज इफ एवरीथिंग इज नॉर्मल फॉर एग्जांपल सेथिरे मु जदि कहिबी डिनायल डिनायल माने मना करिवा नाकच करिवा डिनायल व्हाट इज दिस डिनायल now someone has witnessed you as a culprit example तमे गोटे सिचुएशन रे जाइछ किछि गोटे प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करिछ हमरो घरे भी एमती बहुत जिंस हुए ना धरिनी आमे काम करूचे हमर हाथरू किछि गोटे ग्लास टी खसी पड़ला सेठी पड़ला देयर इज किए नाही देन तमर पेरेंट्स की माँ की बापा की आसला अरे पचरला अरे तुम एटा कोन केमती आसला ग्लास केमती पड़ला तमे स्ट्रेट कहबो आई डोंट नो now the reality is you have broken this glass but what you are doing to avoid that situation to maintain your mental equilibrium what you are doing simply you are denying the fact that I have not broken the glass so that is a case of your denial then projection what is this projection project कौन करिया projection माने होची for any reason ଆମର ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ ବହୁତ କମ ମାର୍କ ଆସିଲା ଆମେ ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟ କରିଥିଲେ 70% ମାର୍କ ଆସିବ 80% ମାର୍କ ଆସିବ ଦୋ always it happens ଆମର ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟେସନ ରୁ ମାର୍କ ବହୁତ କମ ପିଲାମାନଙ୍କର ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟେସନ ରୁ ମାର୍କ ଅଧିକ ଯାଏ ଅଲୱେଜ ଆମ ମାନଙ୍କ ଭଳିଆ ଷ୍ଟୁଡେଣ୍ଟସ୍ ମାନଙ୍କର ଏକ୍ସପେକ୍ଟେସନ ରୁ ତଳେ ହିଁ ମାର୍କ ରୁହେ ମୋର ତ always it has been below the expectations so ଯେତେବେଳେ that level is extremely low and you don't have that agility and courage to accept that fact कि yes मोरो कम mark आसची and these are the realistic reasons for this situation instead of doing that some in some cases what happens ना students माने कौन करंती बा जे भी individual कौन करे ସେମାନେ ଗୋଟେ ideal situation को project କରନ୍ତି and they are completely out of the reality. The reality is what is this reality here? ना तमर exam रे extremely कम mark आस and ସେମାନେ project करिवे ସେମାନେ गोटे जागा को जिबे they will sit and they will think what they will think the chief minister of the state has come to their house and chief minister ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ बा सेई जे भी projection रे अछि chief minister ताकू प्राइज दउछन now गोटे मेंटल इमेज से क्रिएट करछि गोटे मेंटल इमेजिनरी वर्ल्ड को सी जाउछि एई पेन को भूलिबा पाई कि मु वर्तमान गोटे सुपर रिलैक्सिंग स्टेट रे अछि चीफ मिनिस्टर मो पाखु आछंती प्राइम मिनिस्टर मो पाखु आछंती एंड मोर कृतित्व को देखि कि मोर अचीवमेंट को देखि से प्राइज दउछन so why I am doing that and that is the projection state of mind why I am doing that because से जो पेनफुल इवेंट्स को भूलिबा पाई पेनफुल इवेंट्स को मो माइंड रु किछि समय पाई डिस्ट्रैक्ट करिवा पाई ताकू बाहर करिवा पाई मु गुटे एमिति जोन ऑफ थिंकिंग को एंटर करूची जो जोन ऑफ थिंकिंग रे मु कंप्लीटली मो रियलिटी को भूली मु गुटे एमिति प्रॉक्सी वर्ल्ड को जाउची जो प्रॉक्सी वर्ल्ड रे एवरीथिंग इज so ideal for me. I am a super achiever. I am a gold medalist. Mo Olympic ro medal जीतिके आसची. That kind of a projection I am making. I am doing. Right? So that is called your projection technique. That is called your projection technique. Now, what is uh, rationalization? Then the third is rationalization. Rationalization ଆମେ କାହା କହିବା ନା rationalization is something ଯୋଉଥିରେ ଆମେ ଆମର କାମକୁ ଜଷ୍ଟିଫାଇ କରିବା ଆମେ ଆମର କାମକୁ ଜଷ୍ଟିଫାଇ କରିକିରି ରଙ୍ଗ କୁ ରାଇଟ ବୋଲି ପ୍ରୁଭ କରିବା ଏକ୍ସାମ୍ପଲ semester appear kali so now you are very familiar with this semester system ku appear kala pore result ଆସିଲା result ରେ ମୋର ଧରିନିଅ 30% ଆସିଛି 30% is we know that 30% ଟା ହଉଛି ଗୋଟେ ବହୁତ କମ ମାର୍କ ତ ଡେଫିନେଟଲି ଆମର ଘରେ ଆମକୁ ପ୍ୟାରେଣ୍ଟସ ପଚାରିବେ ଭାଇ କଣ ହେଲା ଏତେ ଫ୍ୟାସିଲିଟି ଦିଆ ହଉଛି ଦେନ୍ ସ୍କୁଟି ବି ଦିଆ ହେଲା ଅଲ୍ ବୁକ୍ସ ବି ଯାହା ବି ଡିମାଣ୍ଡ ବୁକ୍ସ ଆସୁଛି ରେଫରେନ୍ସ ର କିଣା ହେଲା ସବୁ ଗୁଡାକ ଦେନ୍ 30% କାହିଁକି instead of giving the right reason you want to rationalize your action rationalize your mark with some excuses example अरे क्वेश्चन आउट ऑफ सिलेबस ही था जो क्वेश्चन आया था दैट वाज आउट ऑफ सिलेबस और फिफ्थ फ्लोर चढ़ के जाना था देन एग्जामिनेशन वाज देयर जिबा समय रे ही देन आई वाज फीलिंग सो यू नो tired my heartbeat was off so I couldn't concentrate these are the reasons that you are providing to rationalize your outcome here the outcome is your poor mark and that kind of action put you in a comfortable state of mind जो गोटे फियर थिला तमरो कि वर्तमान मते पेरेंट्स कौन कहिबे 30 मार्क आंची यदि रियल रीजन कहले मते तो एवरीथिंग विल बी गो अगेंस्ट मी एंड that was the fear